What are you doing, beloved?
Attention, attention, my black brothers. What I want y'all to do right now is take out the do-rag, the silky, tie it down. I want to see the waves glistening. If you got nappy hair, pick it. Don't let nobody discourage you.
Ariel.
Black boy, black boy.
So I was watching the read today and on Instagram, and my first question for y'all was: do y'all want to be submissive in your relationships?
The read or the real?
The real, girl. One of them. The
Like,
real.
They both got TV shows. I had to check.
The real. So the real. They were asking the question. They wasn't asking a question, girl. I just wanted to have the conversation. Do you all want to be submissive in your relationship? And submissive is what you define it as, not the actual definition. If you go by the definition, so I just wanted to put that out there.
So you want us to define it before we answer the question?
Yeah, define your definition for you when you answer it. Yes.
Make sure you want to go first, honey.
No, because I gotta think about what submissive means.
So, I mean, for me, being submissive sounds, I think, both in and out of sex, like you do it, you're told. I.e., if I'm like, submissive to my man or husband, I'm making all his meals and, jumping. I mean, asking how high when he says to jump and giving him fellatio whenever he wants and not when I care to give it. And then, doing the same thing during sex, like acting like I don't have any power and he's got all the power. Anyway, it's not a bitch like me. I'm not doing it. We can go back and forth between the submissiveness and the, what's the other word? Dominance.
Dominance.
I don't subscribe by those two things. So I don't even know. But no, it's not happening with me. I don't believe that people are inherently one thing or the other. So.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I've always told my friends that I'm submissively dominant.
Okay.
Meaning that, like, I play submissive, but it's really I'm being dominant because I'm controlling the situation. Like, I'm being submissive, but that's because I want you to think that I'm being submissive, but I'm controlling the situation. It's almost like me asking you a question, me already knowing the answer of what I want to hear. But I'm gonna pretend like you have a say-so in this.
This is how women do.
Period.
This is exactly how women
and
describe
that's why
their
women
relationships
are
with men.
supreme.
They
Women are period.
They sit there and be like, bitch, I know what I want to ask. I know what the answer is.
Right.
See if you're going to say something stupid.
You got to play with a nigga's mind. That's how you get them, and that's how you what?
Keep them. Okay, period. We here. We
see each other. We good.
No, I think, okay. For me, I get kind of confused with the word submissive. Like, I don't like the association that comes with the word submissive. I do want to feel relaxed and allow my partner to, if they have a decision, like if we want to make that decision, you can make it. But I think I get tongue-tied on what the definite layman's term of it is, and things of that nature. Because like I say, I am dominant, like Jeannie was saying on the show. I agree. Like I'm dominant in like so many other spaces. Like in job, I make my own fucking decisions. Like with my friends, like I'm not afraid to voice my opinions and things like that.
Or are not.
Right. What'd you say?
I said you sure are not.
I literally have no problem voicing my opinions.
Okay.
Listen, it's sometimes that hurts. Sometimes that's a problem. But when I'm with a partner, sometimes I do want to feel like, ooh, like, God, thank God I don't got to make this decision. Or thank God, like, I can have somebody that can just like be that for me at sometimes. But I like it balanced. Like I say, like there's moments when I want you to fall back and I step in or vice versa. So it's just like equal. Because I do at times see like if we're two people that are trying to make decisions all the time, that can just become a lot of like clashing. So I do like a balance in that aspect. But
we talked about that last week. That sort of like duality, that balance, that best of both worlds.
And I thought about it, and I wanted to also pose the question: do you think that men could be quote unquote submissive in a relationship? Is it hard?
Relationship with women?
With both and let's say with men and with women.
Because we're all three here, men. So
right, that's why I was like, I can only speak for what I do. But
I mean, so I've seen it just rarely. I've seen it with men who are romantic with women. And I don't know, men often get like bad reputations for that. Like if they're submissive to their wife, that's like this is against the nature of man. So of course they're seen as like emasculated or whatever. But I also recognize that like some people genuinely, whether it's sexual or not, get a thrill out of some straight men get a thrill out of being submissive to women. Like whether they are dominant in their real lives or not, like, you know, and I think that speaks to people being capable of really anything and just walking out around with like, you know, masks on or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I agree. So,
Me too.
what is up, everybody? It is your boy, Lord Davry.
And I'm Derwin King.
And welcome back to another episode of That Black Boy Joy, where we create a space where Black boys can be themselves and
so much more.
You guys, we have a guest in the building, guest on the show with us today.
Welcome.
We have some his
Hello,
name.
hello.
I'm gonna just go by the names that you told me today. We have Bashel in the building, aka Bash, aka B Dollars
Be
as well.
motherfucking dollar,
In
you
the
know.
building.
Oh yeah, she better record, girl.
Girl, you gotta. I need to have a resume with all of these names.
I love that for
Okay,
you.
I'm B Dollar, the penthouse princess, everything and above, you know.
Yes, we have Bashel in the building with us today. He is a lifestyle blogger and also the creator of Cope. Is that okay? Well, before I get in, is that a magazine? Do we say Cope magazine or Cope fashion? Cope just
I just say Cope.
okay.
Cope, you know, it's fashion, copefashion.com is just the blog,
Right.
but you know,
Okay, so
everything.
he is the creator of that. Just to give a little bit of background
So
on
dope.
him. Huh?
It's so dope too.
Yes. So Bashel is originally from Atlanta, is a personal lifestyle blogger and a community activist that uses his platform to highlight the voices of the young generation. He also labels himself the ratchet corporate hottie based
Okay,
on his
period.
IG. I'm sensing some Megan nostalgia and very Houston Beyonce vibes coming. Like,
Yes.
I just get it. I'm just okay. So first of all, how are you doing today? Like, thank you for being a part of this episode with us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you all for having me. I've done a couple of podcasts before, and this is my first podcast with people that identify as queer and
Yes.
two gay Black men. So I am so happy about this, and I'm excited.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna
Yes,
be
It
yes,
will.
fun.
yes.
So the question that we always ask all of our guests, and you've like answered this so many times on your platform and things of that nature, is what does Black Boy Joy mean to you?
Oh my gosh. I just think, in short, it's the essence of a Black man living in his truth, being happy, and living every day his authentic self. Like,
Mhm.
that's in short what Black Boy Joy means to me.
And we're gonna get into that in the rest of the show because you
Okay.
exude that in
Yes.
I
everything
appreciate
you
that.
do. I just want to
Just
name that. I fell in love with that
permeates.
when I first followed you on social media. I was like, okay, this is a boy, this is a man that lives his Black Boy Joy TBT,
Yes.
and it's no fake shit. It's just
Wasn't always that, but we
Ooh.
here now. We here
Listen.
now.
It's the journey.
it's
Okay.
the journey. I'm still here. Listen, I can agree.
Okay.
I'm still on that journey too. I'm getting there. I'm child, but let's believe it was not like this from the
Mhm.
jump. So,
Absolutely.
but before we get into, the interview with you and the conversation with you, we want to get into what we always do, which is our Black Boy Joy Spotlight and our hot topics. And
Yes.
today's Black Boy Joy Spotlight is a man by the name of tongue-tied Matthew DeLocke. He is a dancer based in LA, and he also was on season 16 of So You Think You Can Dance, which I actually remembered him from that. And I just absolutely love, first of all, his TikToks is what drew me to him. He's a very talented Black male dancer, which I absolutely love. And he specifically does contemporary, which I really really enjoy seeing us in that space as well, because we usually are like put in this box of like hip hop or things that are very much aggressive, but we are definitely in spaces like contemporary that requires like emoting through dance and physicality and flexibility and things of that like that. And his pirouettes is off the chain, his jumps,
Okay.
all
Let
of
me
that
look him
stuff.
up.
Yes, I can send you it after the show and things of that nature, but I really wanted to shout him out. He also teaches like dance in LA as well. So I really want to just give him his praise and his shout outs. Check him out on Instagram, Matthew Deloch. That is pronounced Deloch. I was contemplating if it was Deloch or Deloch, but I did look it up online and things of that nature. So shout out. Did I say his name 2 different times, the last name? Or was it consistently the same?
It was always a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, D-Lot.
because I've realized I've listened back, y'all, and there'd be moments when I would go and say the wrong thing, and I'd be like, nope, this is right, and then mess it up. So I wanted to correct his name and things of that nature. But we are going to get into our hot topics, Devin.
Yes, honey. So
Let me run to the table.
the first thing I wanted to talk about was because Omar was up in my DMs asking me what the fuck was going on, but bitch, they plugged in
Come
even
on,
when he's not.
Okay.
So Rihanna had to apologize for including a Muslim prayer in the song that Shea Coulee and who's the other queen that walked with her?
Good.
That one.
Yeah.
That they walked up
Gigi
to the camera
Good.
to.
She's good, fashion girl.
Good morning, campers. Good morning, Gigi. Okay, sorry.
So, I remember we watched it last week and we were really super impressed, specifically around that time. But as a person who does not practice the Muslim religion, I certainly didn't know about that. But I had seen an outpour of criticism from the Muslim community. And, the people went back and forth. Of course, they called Rihanna a couple of names. Rihanna's fans were very guarded about that. They were very defensive. But in true fashion, true form, Rihanna addressed it and apologized for it. I'm curious to see what she'll do moving forward. Because I'm sure it won't stop there. If I know Rihanna, it's not going to stop at that apology. She's probably going to find some way to honor that community.
Yeah, I do. When I seen it, I was like, I'm not saying I appreciate her just acknowledging, like, I apologize for that. It was in the mindset of fashion. It looked cool and sound cool, but we have to remember sometimes things that sound cool and look cool, you have to understand the tradition and culture behind it.
Do your research.
You have to do your research, girl. You can't be over here saying, "Oh, this sound good," and all of a sudden you're hearing devil worshippers and you didn't even know it in a different language. So,
Well,
so you have to do your research and not
that Muslims are devil worshippers.
Oh no, not that, girl. I'm saying you. No, child, please don't. No, that's not what I said. If you listen, don't take things for face value. Essentially, do not take it. You have to do your research.
Yeah.
Y'all devils.
Speaking of apologies, Miss Monique went on her apology tour last Sunday.
Do you watch Housewives of Potomac, Rachel?
No,
Okay.
I watched some episodes, so I know the fight happened.
Okay.
Yes, so that's what Miss Monique on Real Housewives of Potomac is apologizing for. So we did talk about it a little bit last week, just about the fact that fight was super instigated by Monique, and it was sort of started by Candace. So naturally, Monique had to apologize to her cast members, but them motherfuckers were not buying it.
They was not here for it.
Giselle was like, well, Giselle didn't give a fuck about what she had to say anyway. Giselle had gone there knowing good and well she wasn't going to listen to what Monique had to say. Giselle said, I'm going to stroll up in here with my bodyguard and I'm going to tell this bitch, I don't respect you. I don't care about nothing you got going on. I'm not hanging out with you again. That's all she had intended to do.
Girl, she shouldn't have showed up. She could have texted that.
Honestly, the bodyguard was so much like, girl, you are not in danger.
Yeah, she was doing that for TV.
Yeah.
The whole
I was like,
bodyguard.
first of all, he's big. Like, girl,
He sat there.
Got from the kitchen to you. If Monique wanted to get you, girl, it would have been done.
Honestly, even he knew that shit was like stupid. You could see in his face, he was like, this ain't even nothing I need to be here for.
Yeah, I was like,
Ashley was just like looking. She had Dean. She's like,
Dean needs airtime. Let me just name that. Dean he be at the drama. Dean
needs a check. He needs a check.
The baby is Dean. The baby just be there ready to be in the drama, in the thick of black women.
Karen, of course, defended Monique and noted that, there are two sides to the story. So shout out to Karen for that. And one thing I did agree with Giselle about is that Monique has an established pattern of aggression, which was similar to Portia. Portia had gotten in trouble. She had gotten demoted and showed a consistent pattern of her putting her hands on people. So Giselle made a really strong point in saying that, if this were the first time, I would say fine, but you clearly have a problem that you're not addressing.
I don't think she got a problem. But
why? I mean, she's repeatedly either started to fight someone or talked about fighting someone. Right. And then she fights someone and the things she says out of her mouth on national
Yeah,
TV
yes. However, she has
is,
been provoked.
I will kill that girl. I
Right.
will kill her.
She did say
I'm
that.
going to kill her.
She did say that, but she's been provoked in so many spaces as well. So she's been provoked by
Okay.
Robin. She's been provoked by Giselle. She's like Robin walked into Monique's space and she defended herself with the umbrella. So then when Giselle brought that up, I was like, girl, she had to defend herself in some way.
That's her job.
That's
Her
her
job
job.
is to take confrontation. Her job
Right.
is to have, and if you fight every time someone confronts you or gets close to your face, you're gonna be fighting a whole lot on reality
Right.
TV.
She's called
And
once though.
but this is not Love and Hip Hop. I keep trying to remind y'all because everybody keeps taking that like, oh, you know, she was provoked thing. And the one time I let that come out of my mouth was Kenya when Portia fought her the one time because she actually had something in her face and she sustained it there. Not only that, she had done it twice.
Yes.
With Candace, it was this one thing where she said, get your hand out of my face. And Candace took it back. Monique had built up aggression that she should have dealt with before that night.
Yeah.
So I definitely agreed. As much as I don't like Giselle and I think she's full of shit, she's definitely a bird brain.
Yeah.
I definitely agreed with her that there was a pattern and that Monique was wrong. But
I have the receipts. I will give you that. I will give you that. They showed the receipts and I'm like, damn, when you got receipts. So
they ran back every time. Every single time she listened, I was like, yeah, that sound about right.
So I think, I mean, how did you feel about her apology tour? Like, do you think it was, did it get any, do you think there was anything that was taken away from it? Do you think that the girls, I
think the girls were apathetic and I did not appreciate that. I think the girls put way too much on Monique. She does not represent every Black woman in America. And I don't think that her fighting Candace was an indication of Black women's inherent violence, quotation marks, or their anger. I think that is very Monique, and nobody except for the 2 to 3 people who were saying it felt that way.
Right.
I also think that she was sincere when she said that she was embarrassed. She obviously has a problem with Candace, and no one should say that she shouldn't, but she certainly should not have behaved in the way that she did.
Yeah. Yep. Look, my ass has a different mindset, but I'm like,
right.
Yeah.
No, because the girls want to hear it. Yeah, go ahead.
I understand. I think as somebody that does not take kindness or take really like, I just don't like people in my face. I am very guarded. I'm very like, when I'm backed in the corner, my only thing, which is a problem, is to fight. I've been working on that, but like, I feel like with the Candace thing, Candace was taunting her, you know, her situation with Robin got in her face. Bitch, if the umbrella would have been around her neck and I would have pulled her. And I'm like, maybe I'm not meant for reality TV with the Potomac women. That is probably not me, but it is like, you have to understand, like, know your boundaries. Like, don't poke the bear or you gonna get like slaughtered. Like, it just, to me, is that mindset. And like, I get it. She shouldn't have, like, cause she was angry. Like when I say like, after you got your good licks in, girl, you should have sat down and just be like, I got what I got. But when the fact was, I guess she kept hearing Candace talking. I don't know. The show was showing it, but probably she didn't. But like the way Candace saying like hood rat, oh, I'm gonna show you a hood rat. So I do get the frustration, but I don't agree with, like you said, the like continuation of you chasing her, like you in these spaces, like, oh, I'm gonna get her. Like me, just keep it to yourself. Don't tell other people that you plotting. Like you keep that to yourself, and when you can collect and run up, you do that. But I don't think you telling that to people that you know don't have that same mindset, because it's going to make you look very much like you're an aggressor and you look like you're going for a fight. And it's like, nah, keep that to yourself and you deal with it. And of course you're on a show like this, so you have to figure out other tactics. But yeah, I am one who, if you keep getting in my face and shit is boiling up, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna black out and come back and hopefully you still alive.
I think a specialist would ask Monique why her corner is so small. Like somebody to back you into it. So like as easily as that in one moment, like what is in your corner that it's so small for you to easily be pushed into it? And the other thing I do want to say is that if anybody had been on a cast with Nene in seasons 3 and 4 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, they too would know what it was like to have someone this close into the, your face. Like I can only imagine that somebody from the Housewives of Potomac franchise would have fought Nene very
Oh
early
yeah,
on.
definitely. I would have probably been like kicked off. Like they're probably like, he's a liability. Because that's the thing. Don't get in my face. We can argue from a distance. Don't put your hands, don't, because you want to put your so yeah, but
And speaking of, so what is your appreciation, Bashel, of Miss Tiffany Pollard?
Oh, I love New York. Like that's my girl. Yeah. Love her.
So, her cohort, Mr. Chance from I Love New York, was it season 1?
yes.
He has a show on Zeus, of course, and of course it's a whole bunch of women, some who you would assume would be there and some you would assume would not, fighting and competing for his love. And apparently Miss Tiffany Pollard is not only going to make an appearance, it looks like she's there to stay. I'm not sure if she's competing, but for like one of the first few times we see her possibly get physical.
Yeah, she got
physical.
Oh yeah, I saw her lunge.
To it.
Oh, you need to see that trailer because I saw her lunge.
It's great TV. I mean, I watched her on Big Brother and everything.
Oh my God,
yes. Celebrity Big Brother.
She knows how to work a camera.
Yeah.
She
said
does.
that was her challenge. She's like, that was one of the hardest reality shows that she was a part of, Celebrity Big Brother. I didn't really read into why, but she said that
she worked with, and
they didn't.
She probably was really out of her element.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think she's great television. Sorry, you was say something.
Yes.
I was gonna say because on that, I remember it was like 2 specific episodes where they made her out to be like this angry black woman on Big Brother, and I was just like, I can see why this is definitely hard for her, but she was so funny, like comedy gold.
She did exactly what she had to do.
Exactly what she.
They bring her back, and that's the thing. They bring her back every time. Like Flavor of Love, they brought her back, and now she's coming. She got her own 2 shows, and then she had Hollywood. Like Tiffany goes, New York goes to Hollywood, and now she's coming back for this. Zeus know what they doing. Also,
yeah.
They don't have 4 shows on VH1, by the way,
because they're taking over.
New York Goes to Work.
New York Goes to Work.
That was one of my favorites.
Yes.
New York Goes to Work. So she has the bank. Zeus, they know what they're doing. There's a lot of drama through Zeus, but that's what people love. Mm-hmm. So shout out to her for getting her check. And she still, I think, has breakfast with Tiffany.
Yep.
So she's keeping her coins in a ducat. So I appreciate that. This week's episode, so wait, do you watch Lovecraft Country?
Before.
I watched like 2 episodes. I don't like very scary stuff. It's very scary to me. But I know, girl, but I admire the writing and the acting.
Beautiful gown.
I admire the writing, the actors, love all of that. But I'm hip to some of it. I'm a pop culture girl, so but I guess the Real Housewives.
Here's the thing. I know I'm the same way. I know bits and pieces of things. Like I can dive. Like I never watched Housewives of Potomac until these last 2 episodes because I knew it was going to be like a hot topic. So I was like, let me act like I'm well versed and drop names. But I understand that. But this episode, Jigaboo, was very dark and I liked it.
Jigaboo. I loved it actually. This was probably one of my favorite episodes, and if for no other reason than shock value. There were these 2, I believe I'm describing them. I guess they were described as jigaboos, but when I saw them, I called them pickaninnies.
Yeah, pickaninnies.
They were pickaninnies. They're, little black girls with their hair in little bows or whatever, and they're just like super duper like demonic. And they're just like haunting Dee, who's been cursed. So watching that whole process, that was probably the scariest part. But they focus on Emmett Till. Mm-hmm. Wow. The episode starts off with the murder of Emmett Till, how it affected the people of Chicago. And they made it one of the characters' friend. So she was particularly haunted by that. But wow, I thought that them putting in that there was this moment with a white woman that I thought was great. I think everyone should watch Lovecraft.
It was confusing for me, that part though. You have to act it.
Spoiler alert, I'm gonna tell y'all what the hell happened. The same way that they murdered Emmett Till, the woman Christina asked them to do the same thing to her because she doesn't have empathy. Right. She was told early in the episode that she can't feel, and that was her problem. So she got her ass beat. They beat her to a pulp. They tied barbed wire around her neck, and they threw her into the water.
Yeah. And she's a witch, so she came back, and she felt it, but I was like, wow, like you had to go through all of that to feel pain of a
black person.
I was like, whoo. And then also I wanted to peep. Did you recognize like Dee was very much ignored throughout this episode?
Yeah.
Nobody knew what she was going through, which is very like black girls and black little boys and all that stuff was very much ignored. Like this girl was missing and nobody was worried about her.
Montrose was. So I thought that was interesting too. Maybe it speaks to, and I guess it does because he shares his own experience that the child trauma in him saw the same sort of like, distress in her. Because he truly was the only person, not only at the beginning, but at the end of the episode who paid her any mind, right? Yeah. So Montrose, Diana, let's look at the similarities there.
2 episodes left, and it is surprisingly still 2 episodes. This show is very packed, every episode. So if you watch it, Bashel, you got to watch it in the daytime. With the lights on.
Not before bed.
Not before bed.
I tend to watch it before bed, but
I love it. I love scary.
Me too.
I love it. So I want the lights off. I want the ambiance. If I had like a sound thing, I want that whole feeling.
Really?
I want to be thrown into it. Like,
oh my god!
I need pickaninnies chasing me. Like, right?
No.
Excuse me.
I need them chasing me right now. I need that. I need the thrill of it all.
I said they would have to get me. They had that girl running all up and down the south side of Chicago. I said, look, the damn pickaninnies would have to get me. That would just been the end of that because I'm not going to finna run. I'm not finna run all around the south side of Chicago. It's not happening.
Yeah. So we're gonna see what happens with the next episode, which I'm actually excited about.
Last but not least,
come on, give it to us, girl. Give it to us.
Lady Bait.
That fly. I was here for the fly, bitch.
I was too.
Mike Pence looked like the devil. Like he had come up in the screen and said, he just looks like Satan. Like how do you just look like Satan in the face? Then he had some like, I don't know if he like had he popped a vessel in his eye that was like really red, and then there was that fly that came down on his head for like a solid minute and a half. Right. I've never seen a fly not budge. Like, and it moved all over his head. It just didn't fly away.
I seen that happen last year with Hillary, which I think was a meme. Probably somebody said it was a fly on Hillary's face or fly on.
Really?
I think it was a lie, but like people put like a comparison, like they both was dead. I was like, I don't know, or flies attract to shit. So yeah, I was like. Oh wow, shit! I was about to say her name wrong. Kamala Harris. Kamala. She was not here for me, but she was ready.
So she did much better than Biden did, but she evaded several questions as well. I watched her do. So. Now, freaking Pence did it a lot. Like he was a major violator. Not only that, but he manipulated the fuck out of that moderator trying to say her name when he was going over his time as a way, I guess, to draw her in or. As if he was more deserving
Sarah.
of time by being personal. Oh, Susan and Susan. I'm like, all right, whatever. But I definitely think that the winner of that debate was Harris. I just wish that she would have been a lot more honest about some of those questions and maybe had not taken so many of the strategies that Pence did. I don't mind her taking more of her time, but they definitely similarly dodged questions.
Yeah, she definitely. But I didn't know that Joe had a speech impediment.
He's not in the limelight. We don't know that man.
So because at first I was like, wow, like I don't know, when he answered his question, it just threw me off a lot. So to know that, I think he did a good job from last time. But
I forgot because I did mention that Trump had tripped him up. So
tripped him up a lot.
Mental. I thought it was really mental. I didn't even take into account that he like has a whole speech impairment. Okay, all right. Or difficulty, I wouldn't even call it an impairment.
Oh, he does have one. I literally thought, okay, I was thinking about Joe. I thought I was thinking about Pence.
No, Joe Biden used to stutter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And why were they sitting down? They had the old people standing up and
for real. But I think that was a request that was made. Apparently, they had to negotiate how that was going to go. I don't think one party wanted the little shield or the ballistic shield or whatever. So. whatever it was. I forgot what they call it.
Ballistic shield.
Plexiglass.
It was plexiglass, girl, but it was ballistic. I don't know this year. That was
Hey, you know, when somebody shoots it, it won't, you know, shatter.
the break
Okay.
of it.
It was only one side, but I guess.
But I think they both wanted to sit down, and I don't know if it was supposed to increase the likelihood that they would act civilized. But you know, you get hype when you're standing up arguing with
Yeah,
somebody.
you can.
That's true.
You-
When
That's why people they used to stand up from the couch. Nene used to get up from the couch so she could.
But you gotta. It's
stand
also
up.
okay. So it's also you gotta collect yourself, right? It's you gotta just stand grounded. Like you sitting down, you can't ground yourself, and if you get hit or you get thrown,
This nigga's ready to fight all the time.
listen,
Mhm.
you gotta make sure you are standing like ready because you can't.
Who's gonna hit you in a presidential debate?
Girl, you never know. Guns flying. You gotta make sure you know.
Ain't no.
I'm just saying, ain't nobody fighting at it, but you never know.
Finna run up.
You gotta stay. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
Okay,
Jesus.
period.
So, but we are gonna dive into the reason we are here today.
Our what?
Rachel, we are
Our
gonna
what?
the what?
Our meat and potatoes.
Our meat and potatoes, honey. We're
I
gonna
waited
get
for
some
you to
meat and
say it.
Potatoes.
Listen, I be so confused sometimes. My brain, I'll be like, hold on, everything be going. But it's the meat and potatoes. It's the why we are here. We're going to get comfortable. We're going to let people get to know you and things of that nature. But first of all, I Googled you and it was just so many achievements. Yes, I Googled you.
Okay.
Gotta make sure. You have
I
so
think
many
I gotta
achievements
Google myself.
that Google you. If you've never Googled you, Bashel, Google yourself. I Google myself regularly because I got to make sure there ain't things.
Really?
I got to make sure there's things that's out there that I don't want out there too. You can't
Okay, that's true.
delete
That's
those
true.
accounts. But you have a lot of achievements that you accomplished during undergrad and still right now. And I wanted to shout that out because it was just really amazing seeing you flourish like that during undergrad. But how are you able to, first off, stay so like active in civic engagement and like academics, but then also still have this social life where you was able to create this platform with Cope?
I think it was because when I was in high school, like I hate authority, like in general, but like I always felt like there was someone like the teachers and all that stuff, like they didn't get me. They would
Mhm.
always just be like, oh, this little, they always deemed the gay boy like the dramatic one or the one
Yeah.
that does too much, I would literally just be fucking writing and they'll just be like, I'm doing too much. So
Ooh,
I
they
think
couldn't take you.
I hate
they
that.
couldn't take me, and I
Girls
wasn't even
can't
who I
take
am
me.
right now. So that's crazy.
They could see
So
it, honey. They could see the
they
spirit right
could
in you.
see it, I guess.
Yes.
And so I think that I look to other people like my friendship group and my mentors to push me. And it's been a village of Black women, only
Mm.
Black women. All of my
Mm.
friends are Black women or non binary people.
Mhm.
So I think just last year I got my first cisgender like
Yeah.
male friend. And so they pushed me. So I really want to attribute the like me achieving all this academic success and my social life to them because they always pushed me and they saw my light before I did. So
Yes.
Oh, that's so
I
beautiful.
think
Was it
that's
like
it.
hard? Like, as you notice, you see, I mean, a lot of people that you had in your life was like female or non-binary. So, like,
Mhm.
was it just the connection wasn't able to just happen organically with like men or cisgendered men, or was it just always like something that just was like never there?
I just always felt like I had to perform like with like cisgender heterosexual men,
Yeah.
I felt like I wasn't masculine enough. And then even with gay cisgender men, I felt like I wasn't masculine enough or I wasn't queer enough for them. So like I always just felt like, and this some of this may be just in my head,
Yeah.
but through the years I internalized it so much that in any situation I was just uncomfortable. I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to talk to you. I don't want you to think that I'm flirting with you. So like now even when I get hit on, like well, when they flirt with me,
Yeah.
I don't even pick up on it. I just be like, oh, okay, that's what's happening.
Yeah, I can agree. I
You have to be
definitely was.
very direct.
Yeah, you got to just tell me. I was definitely on eggshells in any space with cisgendered men or queer men. I never knew how to like, I already have anxiety and I
Mhm.
never knew how to navigate those spaces. Like, I hated the barbershop. And still to this day, I have
Mm.
traumatic experiences at the barbershop because I felt like
Mm.
I was literally trapped in a space. So I definitely agree.
I've felt that before. I've always had to teeter back and forth because I'm such a loud like person, both visually and vocally. Um, so when I go into certain spaces, I think that's true that I shrink myself quite often. But at the same time, I look for little avenues to jump out. And like for instance, with barbershop stuff, if it's older men, I'm super quiet. It's like my dad and the grandpa's age, but younger men, I'd be like, "Hey, y'all, how you doing?"
And I
Oh,
recommend you, Devin. Devin's energy is the same in so many spaces, and I fucks
love
with that
that.
so much. Like Devin will just be his organic stuff. For me, I will be in the corner. Like, oh my god, like oh, is he really being gay? Like, and he'll be like, yes, like because we went out. We literally went out like 2 weeks ago, and you like told the white people like get the fuck out, and like come on, y'all get the fuck out. We in here now, get the
Yeah,
fuck out.
because
And I just,
you can't be too many people in a tight space. They had their
that's
food. It
not
was
why
time
you
to
said
vacate
that.
the
That's not why
premises.
you said that.
And then we weren't supposed to be in that damn Z burger like that.
Oh,
I thought you just wanted to say get the fuck out.
Yeah.
But the
that
energy
too.
definitely, like I definitely appreciate you are in certain space. Majority spaces that I've been in with you have been very much like you still, which I appreciate that. But
Yes,
Yes.
kudos
yeah.
to you. I think
So
that's why I admire, just to piggyback off of that, I admire like when I see Santana, Saucy Santana,
Yes.
like he just makes like in every situation around whoever he is him, and I'm just like, I love
yes,
that.
the
I love
energy is
that.
consistent.
S out and everything, honey. I live for
Right.
Saucy Santana. I
His
live.
energy is consistent, which we love. We love to
Consistent.
have that.
I'm a
Yes.
ball.
Okay.
So getting into cope, how did you start cope and what was that process like for you?
Yeah, so I started Cope back in 2017, and actually next week is my 4-year anniversary of blogging. So I started it at 19 years old, and
My
I'm just
God.
like, wow. So I started because I was about to study abroad in the UK, and I realized I was the first person in my family to like own a passport or leave the country. And so I
Mm.
was like, oh my gosh, I have to like document this to like show them that this could happen,
Mm-hmm.
not like
Yeah.
a pull yourself up by the bootstraps type of thing, but like, hey, look at these cool things, like I can do it and I can show you how I did it in X, Y, and Z. So that's why I started Cope, to be like a visual representation of just what I got going on and to inspire
Mm-hmm.
people.
That's so much intention. I
Yes,
think that's a beautiful way to start any project and so selfless, right? So I think that it was bound. I mean, I totally think we should do things for ourselves, but
absolutely.
building platforms that you are designing to assist other people honestly helps it go a long way. You put more intention into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Did it when you started it, were you surprised by like the traction or the feedback or the receptiveness people got from your blog? Because when I would go and check it out, I was just like it was the concept, the like you to look like you put a very like a lot of thoughts into everything that you posted from like the contrast of things. So like how was the receptiveness for you from everyone else?
Yeah, I mean, mind you, I was 19 at that time. So to get the type of like feedback from everyone, like the outpour of support and love, I was like surprised because, but and then when I realized it now, I'm like, I didn't see much of people
Mm-hmm.
like black gay men traveling the world on social media a lot that were definitely young. So like I now that I look back on it, I can see why the outpour of love and support was so big. But then when it reached beyond just America, that's when I was like, oh my gosh. So like people from like Nigeria, I have like a lot of copers in
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria, and they always email me, and we're like in a little group chat now, and like from Canada. So it's just like always, I'm just so surprised
Girl,
every
you
time.
foreign. Oh my
No,
God, you
Yes.
no,
international.
I don't well, I guess it is international. I'm gonna humbly take that.
We brag on this show.
Okay,
We let people know
Absolutely.
that.
period.
We let
Give
people know
yourself
that.
your flowers,
Your
honey.
flowers.
Collect them
Okay.
directly from the
I'm
garden.
so many
gonna start
spaces.
saying that.
In so many spaces, we have to minimize ourselves, but not in this
Yes.
one. We're
Uh-uh.
gonna brag. We're gonna
That
talk
Okay.
black
about it.
boy. What
Joy. Come on
joy?
now. Come on,
Joy,
Joy.
joy, 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 joy.
Okay.
But also, I want to talk about your fashion too. So, like the fashions, girl. Like
hmm
the fashions. Let's get into that. How do you
Okay.
come up with it? How do you come up with the pieces, the thought, because I be living.
You be
We
living?
live.
Look,
Yes.
I be living too. I be in it. going to the shoot destination feeling like a fool, but then when I get there, I'm like, okay, this is what I did it for.
Yes.
I just I just like dramatic stuff. Like I just like making a statement because as we just like attested to before this, in so many spaces we shrink ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
fashion was my coping mechanism. That's why I named it Cope Fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
through my
yes.
clothing, I'm literally expressing the who I really am without shrinking myself. So whether I'm wearing like an all pink outfit with a pink hat, I'm just embracing it and being who I am. So I think the fashion spins from whatever I'm feeling that day and what I want to express. So the fashion is in my mind.
Have you done a Myers-Briggs test?
Yes, I have.
What's your sequence?
I don't know the sequence. I just know I'm the entertainer.
Oh,
Okay.
bitch. Now we gotta look that up.
I know, right?
Maybe I can look it up. Let's see what that
Come
is.
on, come on,
Are you
customer
familiar with
service.
the?
Only the
I got two
lines.
monitors here, you know.
We got you while you was at work.
Hello, while I was at work.
No, but yeah,
ESFP.
ESFP. Okay,
Yes.
ESFP. Yeah.
EFTP, ENFTP.
What is that?
I
So
forgot.
it's the E is extrovert. The S I think is a sensor, and then the F. You know what? Let me not get to lying to y'all.
Okay.
I
Wait,
was like
what's y'all's my brig?
I have
ENFP.
we're both ENFP.
Oh, but what's the name for that? Did they give it a name?
It's the campaigner.
The campaign.
Oh,
'Cause I
okay.
think Will
Okay.
No,
Smith.
no, it might be the humanitarian.
I don't remember. We gotta hold on. ENFP girl. Because I thought Will Smith and Drew Barrymore was like us
Oh.
too.
Yeah, that's right. That's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the campaigner.
The
Yep.
campaigner. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are the
Okay, come on.
campaigners. Yeah,
I just
Robin
would-
Williams, Sandra Bullock. Yep.
Come on,
There
Sam.
you go.
But no, that's dope though. I appreciate you. First of all, like you said, you would be so nervous walking around New York. Like, I feel like that's common though. Like you getting ready for a shoot, like you might have this extravagant thing on, and I feel like that is just so common, and people just see that while they're in New York. So that's interesting that you have that. But then the concept and when it comes out on paper, or on social media, or on the blog, it is amazing. But I want to talk about how was moving from Atlanta to New York for you. Like, what was
Yeah.
it for you?
And how long
Yeah.
did you know you were gonna when did you know you were gonna do that as well?
Well, I went to school in California. So I moved from California to New York, but why did you do that?
I love it. I love you're going to these major cities, girl. You're
Okay, checking off these boxes. Here we
yes, in the
are.
UK too. I live.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just excited.
So I knew it for about like I want to say 4 months before it happened. So yeah, but I think that transition. So funny story. I in California, I didn't have much like of a LA California life because I was still kind of like shy. I was blogging, but I was
Yeah.
still shy. But there were so many people hitting me up on social media like, "Hey, I'm in Cali. Like, let's hang out, let's link." And I'm like, "Oh, girl, I wish I could, but I'm just like."
Where to go?
I'm so shy. I'm so shy. I don't want to by myself. Like I don't know. And mind you, at that time I still wasn't like comfortable with hanging around with men, and so I'm just like, okay, whatever. So, and then when I go back home to Atlanta, like I had never been to a gay club, so it was just like I know, right? I was so like I sheltered myself so much. It was me being in my head.
Yeah.
Dev, you like Dev? Yeah.
I came here with my first gay club. The girls had
Really?
yeah, the girls had to get me out. There was not a gay club in Michigan. I mean, there was not a gay club at my college. Also, like I came here first, and experienced all of that. Like my first group of gays were y'all.
That
Like,
just must be the mother gay, huh? Because this been going since they had one in Richmond called Colors. I was 18. They were 18 and up, so that was my first
Okay.
one.
Oh, so you went at 18. Okay, period.
you was up in there.
You was up in there.
But no, I relate
As soon
with
as
you.
I had
I
an
do
opportunity,
relate.
I was in that motherfucker.
I do relate with you though, with the people coming and like asking like where to move at, or like you going back home and not knowing the gay moves.
Right. And when I went back home to Atlanta, like it was summers mostly, and I would spent the summers doing like community activism work. So I was like
Nice.
with the community. But then when I came to New York and I went to the gay clubs, and the niggas was like, "Can I buy you a drink?" I'm like,
Yes, go ahead, Miss
a
Mamas.
drink? Me?
Yes, the
Yeah,
niggas.
girl. Yes, come on.
And
And
the niggas was
so,
like,
right. And so at that point, it was a whole new ballpark. Like my cousin's out here. He's gay too, and we became close since I moved out here. And literally, when I don't want a drink, I'll get it for him, or he'll be pimping me out. He'll be like, "Go and get a drink from him for us." Like talk to him and do it. I'm like,
the
"Okay."
pimping you out,
Be
bitch.
pimping me out
Yes.
like
Oh,
a $2 hoe. So I'd be like, "Yes, okay." But
Get
I
the
love it.
drinks, bitch.
I love New York. I do love New York.
Boxers.
Box, yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Have you been? You like it?
Yeah, that's
I've
the
never
place. I
been.
know
I
it's the
just know
most
that.
basic, and then now they started like a new underground party scene for like black queer people or people of color in general. Dick Appointment.
beautiful.
Wait,
Have
what's
you
it
all heard
called?
of Dick
Ooh,
Appointment?
Dick
no.
appointment? I've
Plug
no.
me
It's
in,
on social
girl.
media. It's on social
It's on
media.
social media. It is
Yes,
like
Dick
the new,
appointment.
like it's like the underground, like POC gay like thing. It's called Dick Appointment. Those parties are,
Yeah.
I love it.
I've just seen it on
In
social
my
media, but it's
Googles.
very vague. They don't give that much information. It's like you have to like it's like a speakeasy type of thing. So I'd be like,
Hmm.
oh, I live for that. But
Yeah.
were but live like you said, being from Atlanta and then LA for college and then in New York for like work, has there been
Mhm.
just a lot of shock? Like, was it hard for you to like transition into all of those spaces since you were all in these like fast paced cities, but then also being from the South?
I don't think it hasn't been much of a shock because I just tell myself, like, even when I was like traveling to like Italy and stuff, I just told myself this is Georgia. I just kept telling myself this is
Mhm.
Atlanta, even though I wasn't in Atlanta, just to make myself feel more comfortable. I don't know what it is, but it hasn't been much of a shock thing to me as it's been like getting adjusted to like how things operate more
Hmm.
so.
Got it. Because I'm like, yeah, you were moving.
Moving,
You were
yeah.
moving, girl.
Yeah.
How's how's the dating scene in New York right now with the pandemic?
For me, better than ever.
Do
For me personally, better than ever.
you remember? Do you remember the
Beautiful.
story that you had told me when I was there about? I don't want to.
Ah!
I don't.
Yeah,
I
no,
can't.
which
Okay,
which one was it? You can say it.
two, girl. You had your
To
two
what?
guys that you were like friends with,
Yeah. Oh, I forgot the
associates,
two
Not
that I
to
was
what?
juggling.
juggling.
Juggling. Well, both of them are let go now because
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't remember. But so the main problem before this all happened was like the guys that I would talk to would say that I'm too busy for them.
Hmm.
So they would just be like, "Oh my gosh, like you never have time to talk to me. Like you don't have time to do this with me." So I'm like, "Okay, okay, whatever." But now
Shit to do.
okay, period. And that's why I need a man that has shit to do as well.
Correct.
But since this has happened, I've slowed down a lot, and so I've been able to actually talk to people more and like go on like social distance dates and stuff. So I've been dating a lot more now and learning what I like in people and what I don't like. So
Oh, we
it's
love
good for
that.
me now.
We love that you're
Yeah.
What
learning.
about y'all? Are y'all single, taken, complicated? What's up?
I am single.
Okay.
I would love to be in
Single and ready to
relationships. I
mingle.
am ready to mingle.
Young
I am,
Miami.
yes, I am Mr. Fuck Ups. I do be fucking shit up. So let me just
Oh,
name that. But I'm
dang.
growing. I'm learning
Okay.
how to be better in spaces and also naming what I
Mm-hmm.
want because I get myself a situation where I don't name it and then I get complacent and then I get angry because I'm
Mm.
complacent. So, but single but ready to mingle. So, but I need to work on myself and what do I want first. Devin, go.
Huh?
You
What?
the dating?
Huh?
How's it been for you?
So, you got a chance to meet with Michelle Obama. How was that? Can
What?
you tell us the story behind it?
Hold on.
Well, not on purpose. Girl, let's come on. Let's get comfortable. Tell us.
You know, so and so girl, it ain't too different than the way it was prior to COVID. So, we'll just
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what is yours? Wait, what is yours? I'm like, what is yours?
I'm a Cancer.
Okay.
That's my moon sign.
Very
I'm a,
emotional.
yeah. I'm an
Hmm.
Aries.
And you're an Aries. Okay. I
Same
I
like
fire
Sag.
sign.
I like Sag men though. I don't know about dating, but like friendship wise, like the guys, the Sag men, they're nice.
We're the best friends you could have.
Yeah, I don't know about relationship. I don't know about them waters over there, but
Child, well, I don't either.
I'm gonna just say, don't come this way, bitch.
so what zodiac signs are y'all most like you have the most history with?
Like, like with only dating or just in general?
I like as far as dating life.
I don't even know. I'll be asking them niggas for real.
Oh,
Mine.
you
Oh, wait.
don't? Okay, I know that's
I think
right.
it's Aries actually.
Oh,
Aries Taurus.
okay.
Air. Well, not Aries. Scorpios and Virgos.
Ooh,
So it's
two
yeah.
very like dominant signs
Yeah, and
though.
it's so interesting because I'm an Aries, so it's just all.
That sounds about right.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
It's
certainly
that.
sounds about
It's
right.
girl, just the fire in all of it. Sex is
Okay.
bomb. I'm gonna just name that.
Oh, very
But
much so with the Scorpio. We
come
agree.
on, but the after the fall, what is it? The letting the fire down, there, girl. It's a lot. Why do you say
Okay.
that?
Because I think it goes without saying that a Sagittarius is one of the best lovers a person will have. Now, I can do that. Now,
Okay.
I ain't
Okay.
had one complaint.
Also, seen your episode this week. I seen your episode this week,
So,
girl.
Bashel, I'm in a web series,
Okay.
and this was episode 4 last night, which was one of my sex scenes, and first time
One
I've
of
ever
them.
seen myself in. Oh shit! I wasn't supposed to say that.
Okay, finish.
You
Sorry,
need to
finish.
send it to me. I want to watch.
Okay, you
I
gotta send
love this
it.
type of stuff. I used to watch. Is it like on YouTube?
Yes.
Wait, what did you watch?
I used to watch the Triangle. What's it called? The Triangle. Bitch, I was all up in my.
What about boy drama?
I think I did watch Boy Drama too. Yes, I love those little web series. And there's like another web
Yes.
series with this girl called Paz Raz.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I love like little web series like that. So I would be tapped
I
in.
think
Send
you'll
it to
love My
me.
First Love. It's
Okay.
absolutely a great story.
Okay. Period.
But my mother was not very happy about having to watch me in a sex scene that I did not prepare her for. So
Uh,
I know this is probably super self-absorbed, but
Oh, girl,
I'm
do it.
watching it. I low-key got like slightly turned on. But then I was
ooh.
like, this is weird. And I cringed because I was like, I don't know that I should be like enjoying this. But I was like, it's me. So of course,
You're excited that you're a good lover and you acted.
Right.
You're like, bitch, I still can act like I'm a good lover too.
Well, the scene was put together well. Let's say that.
Okay. Okay. I
It
know
was
that's
staged.
right.
That's cute.
But yes, so you got a chance to meet Michelle Obama. How was it? And like, what was the story behind it?
Yeah, I actually so I was doing yoga today and I have my picture with Michelle Obama hanging here and I knocked it down. I got a little too into the stretching. So I knocked it down, the frame broke.
Oh no.
I know, but I can reframe it. But this is also the letter that she sent me up here. So it was good. She came to my high school and she gave like a little speech.
Mm-hmm.
And so everyone was rushing to like come, afterwards to come meet her, say this and that. They didn't pick me once again in high school to meet her as like an ambassador. I was pissed off because they know they could have picked me, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna call them homophobic. So I
Probably
Bitch, you just
so.
homophobic. That's my go-to.
okay,
Bitch, you didn't pick
I
me
mean,
homophobes.
chances are it was correct.
right.
They couldn't
Like
take you. They couldn't
they
take
couldn't
you.
take me. So I came in like I came really dressed. Like I had my blue blazer. It was the school colors, like ready. So as she was coming down, everybody was crowding around her. And I'm like, I'm not about to crowd around her for no picture. Like I love her, I respect her, but I'm just gonna give the lady her space. She came up to me.
That's what we do, girl. That's what we do.
That's how I know I'm touched by God. Like I
You
don't care
know
what
it.
nobody say. I don't
Drew
care
it
what
right
no-
in.
Okay, drew it right. Beeline.
Bitch.
She said, "Do you want a hug?" I said, "Yes."
Bitch,
So
of
I gave
course.
her a hug. Literally gave her a hug, and then her assistant like was coming. He was like, "Oh my gosh, I love that blazer color. It's so cute." The next week, I see my picture on her Instagram.
That's what we talking about, bitch.
I say, what? Out of all the photos taken that day, you posted me and you hugging on your Instagram. Oh, I said, you know what? Let me type her a motherfucking letter.
That's
So I'm
anointed for real.
anointed for real. So I'm like, let me type up a letter to her, letting her know like I'm a senior in high school. I appreciate this. And at the time, I've gone through a lot as a child. I mean, as have a lot of people, but like the story, this ain't no Crystal Staircase, Langston Hughes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like literally I was just like typing it to her. I sent it to her, and then I got a letter back like 3 months later, signed by her and everything. So it's up there hanging up with the photo of her. And then her organization reached out to me, I want to say last year, and that's how I got the article in Forbes.
Wow.
Yes, girl, you was in Forbes too. I was just like,
She was in Forbes.
she was there. She was.
She
I was
was.
like, girl, my girl's. What is this? 30 under 30? What? I'm
Yeah,
like,
like
what is
dead
she
ass.
in? I
Yeah.
was like, is this?
Destined for success. How has that shown up in your life throughout from childhood to now? What are the most defining moments of you being on a very clear trajectory to self-realization?
By self-realization, what do you mean?
Well, of course, because it's a very out there.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, but I mean, these are really defining moments, I would say, that show you're certainly on a path to success. So that's why I mean by self-realization.
Oh, yeah. I think one, like me going to college on a full ride, graduating debt free.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, then getting a full-time offer before I even started my senior year, and then now having the highest income like ever in my family. Like no one has, and then being the first person to travel outside the country and own a pass. Like I'm getting emotional. Oh my gosh, what you doing, Bashel? It just hits me because like no men in my family have done this, not because they didn't want to, but access and resources to it.
Yes.
I always say that it's like they didn't have access to these type of things. And so like I'm doing it for them. And I think things like that just show me. And one time, so my mom, she was a hood pharmacist, if you know what that means. One of her friends, he was like, "Boy, you think you getting all these blessings just because God blessed you?" He was like, "No, those are because of your mom."
Oh my God.
And he's like, "You are the blessing to your mom and your family." So
Oh.
it has always been with me. Everything I do is for Black women and for my family. So I that's where my selflessness come from, and that's where I see that trajectory.
That is really beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's because like you just listening to your story, you've had great things happen to you, and it wasn't because of coincidence. It wasn't because of accidents. It was because you had these things were set up. Like the fact that Michelle Obama went to you, Michelle Obama posted you,
Ooh,
Michelle
yeah.
Obama, you wrote to her and she wrote back. Like
Mhm.
it wasn't no coincidence in the way that you like have everything that is set up. That is amazing, and I think that is so important for us to see Black men, Black boys having these things that are not coincidental. These are
Yeah.
I
things that
agree.
we have that we can achieve, and I appreciate that. Well, don't make me cry either, but I appreciate that. I think that is something that I admire as somebody that is I'm a follower, a supporter. I appreciate that. And I think that's having you on that show and having that conversation with you is because people wouldn't know like your mom was a hood pharmacist and all that stuff like that by seeing all of your things.
OG, by the way, that was what ran through my head when you said it. And I was like, oh, Mama's an OG.
Oh,
Oh.
very much so that.
Yeah, but I love it because like I have a similar little space of like where I came from and now where I'm at now. It's very when I go back home, I'm like a whole different being to my family. It's a good
Mhm.
in the beginning I would definitely feel uncomfortable, but going back home now, people are like, Devery, like you're in. I'm from a small city in Ohio, so when I come back, they're like, you're all the way out in DC, like have your own place, have like you
Yeah.
are. I'm like, but I never think of it like as a big thing, right? But then when you start to hear it out loud, you're like, oh, girl, wait, hold on.
Hold
But
on.
we minimize, like I'm saying, like we don't even acknowledge or recognize all these feats and all these successes. And I always be like, why is that? Like, why we've been pushed down so much? Been put in so into be dim. And I'm like,
Mhm.
baby girl, no.
Yeah, so much so that we expect, and I was literally just thinking about this. We expect ourselves not to get anywhere based on that. Like, oh, this doesn't belong to me. This is not accessible to me.
Mm-hmm.
We teach ourselves that those things don't align with us. And that's
Imposter
why,
syndrome.
yeah.
We have that imposter syndrome too.
And that's why and that's why I love like that Black Boy Joy podcast. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the highlighting thing every time you come on a podcast and like highlighting a different person, like that's important because you're like, oh, this person is really doing something. You all are really doing something. And I know that if I see any like queer Black person doing, well, any Black person in general, I try to really like support. And some people may see that as fake. Like I don't know if you saw my Instagram post. It's like the boy box, the
Mm-hmm.
little bag with the weekend. That's like a new business. I supported, no sponsorship, no nothing, because I just genuinely want to support and see people. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's something like I listen, just supporting. I just get excited, bitch. When I see
Yes.
some real Black Boy Joy shit, it's just my whole body. I'm like, yes, like this is visibility. Like, shout out to you also, like not needing a sponsorship just to like support this
Yes.
business. Like, I love that. Like, girl, you don't got to give me nothing. I know what's rightfully so.
Build each other up. I think that's beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it's a
Yes.
good example to set as well for the rest of the community.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yes.
where do you see yourself and Cope in the near future? Is there a goal in mind, or where do you see yourself?
Yeah. So I just started a new segment on Cope called C for C, which stands for Cope for Change.
Mm.
So like for the longest, not for the longest, but for some time, I kind of separated like Cope fashion from my community work. And so now I'm merging them mostly
Mm,
like since, the civil unrest that happened since George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. I mean, it's nothing new, but like we had extra eyes on it during the pandemic. So I started C for C, which is just highlighting some community organizations that I'm working with and how people can help contribute to them or just highlighting the work that they're doing. So that's like the next step. And then in the near future, I've always, and I said this on every interview I've had, is I want to start a scholarship for Cope.
wonderful.
I can see
can see
that.
that.
I
I want to
can
start a scholarship so
definitely see
bad.
that.
We said that at
So
the same
bad.
time.
Yeah, I can see that. Even if you start off very small too, and then like big, like girl, $50 right now, but then boom, next you know, $50,000 or four
Okay.
rides.
Oh,
Like,
period.
bitch, we don't do small feats, bitch. We
I'm
go from
blessed.
50 to 50,000.
I'm a blessed that your first one will be, if not five, north of five, if
Yeah.
not
Okay.
north of 5,000.
Come on.
Okay. Yes.
1,000. We're gonna get out there. We're
Okay.
gonna keep going and going.
We're gonna
Okay.
keep going and going
Until
and
the fountain is plentiful. All
Yeah.
right.
okay, come on now.
Do you have a background in marketing or by any chance? Because like the create, like you saying C for C, Cope for Change. I'm like, bitch, yes, catchy. Like, do you have experience in marketing?
No, I'm an organizational studies major, which is like a liberal arts business degree. So
Nice. That's
yeah,
really dope.
yeah.
Because I'm like, girl, you do marketing. This is marketing. This is very much, girl. I'm watching
It's the
Girl,
Emily.
you host a
creative.
class.
Hmm?
That's the host of class, Sammy.
Host
Yes.
the
Shit, Tyra Banks
yeah.
did.
Tyra Banks. Oh Lord, Tyra.
Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks did. I'm also
Yes.
cyber. I'm watching Emily in Paris. This is not one at all. The
I
fashion's
saw that the little
amazing.
okay, I should watch it. I saw it on Netflix.
Apparently, the Parisians said, fuck
Yeah,
that show.
like
Ooh.
I said, the fashion.
That what they say. I
Yeah,
don't
Ooh.
know. I
the
don't know. That
fashions
what
are
it is. I
amazing.
don't know about that.
And she's a marketing like connoisseur, but she has
Okay.
this very biased American mindset of with everything that she does, which I can see.
Mhm.
They're depicted in a weird, they're in a bad way. But when I thought about marketing, like I could see like how she had like social media and she got there and like now she's like this influencer. Like I thought about that with you and Cope. You went to
Mhm.
the UK and then like came back, bitch, an influencer. Like, but you
Okay.
came back an influencer. Bitch, I'm
Eh,
taking this for myself, but next thing you know, people are loving it, and now I'm just like here.
It's been hard for me to get in the sponsorship space. Like I never thought about it. Like when people are always so surprised when I say I don't make any money from my blog because I don't. I've never thought about it. So now in the recent years, I have thought about like
Hmm.
sponsorships and how I'm going to navigate that space. So that may be in the future too.
But that's good though that you didn't have that mindset. Like I need to make how I'm gonna make money, but you gotta say something.
I think you're going to be an inspiration for our listeners because I certainly feel inspired already. Absolutely. I really, really mean that. Just seeing the things that you've accomplished. How old are you?
23.
And at 23.
And can we just say that?
Like, I think that the thing that it seems like you really do want to show people that it's possible. And I definitely think that you're doing that. And so I myself, again, have already been inspired by the things that you've done and even that you want to do. And I think encouraging people to have those dreams for themselves is super important work.
Yes, we
Yeah.
love to see it. So the last question we have, of course, before we wrap up is: can you still not cook?
Girl, I love that you asked me that on this platform.
Well, it's all it's on your platform. You had a
Okay,
whole
right. I
series.
still can't cook. No, I don't know how to cook. All I
You're
eat is couscous and shrimp.
you're
Like,
in good company, honey.
okay,
Beyonce can't cook
period.
either.
Okay.
Oh my God, y'all bad. That's real ghetto, y'all.
That not me. I said Beyonce.
Oh, also Beyonce. I thought you said
He's in
you.
good
Oh,
company
you
with
said, oh, I thought you were
Beyonce.
referring to
Don't
yourself.
put that
So
on
hold
me.
on.
I eat and I eat well.
I eat and I eat well.
He said,
No.
girl, that's not me.
No,
Don't put
we
that on
not.
me.
We not the
Niggas,
same boat.
all the men out there, look, you did not hear that come out of my mouth. I was talking about Beyonce Gisano's Carter. That
Oh
lady
my
doesn't know how to cook.
God.
Rachel don't know how to cook.
Bitch.
Winky,
Ray should don't know how to cook.
that ain't me now.
Oh my God. Well, I need to learn, obviously.
Girl, you was trying to with your Hello Fresh.
With the
How was
Hello
that going?
Fresh.
How was she
Omar
doing?
loves that. Yeah, how is that going?
It was good when it was, but the meals were so like bland. They,
It seems
Yeah, it
like they
wasn't
would.
black.
yeah.
They need to make
So you know you make it.
Black,
Hello
a black
Fresh.
Hello Fresh. Yes.
We need a
Oh my
delivered
God.
diabetes. Delivered
Okay,
diabetes.
let's not take it that
Yeah.
far. Maybe if we
Right,
can have a nice,
right.
healthy spin, nutritious
Okay.
spin on a good macaroni and greens and sweet potato,
Right.
whatever, we can get a healthy spin on it. Somebody gonna come up with a good name for that.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, bitch.
I
We need
hope
Dark
diabetes in a
so.
soul.
box. It's gonna be soul. Some soul gonna be in the name. It will be it would not be. It would be cliche.
I need it to happen. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What about Blue Apron? You ever tried that, girl?
that's what Omar does. That's the one. He
Blue
actually says the
Apron.
food is really, really good. So he does not say that, and I think his palate is pretty particular as well. So I think you might like Blue Apron if you try it.
So what do they just bring everything in a box and you just make it?
Frozen, yeah. So they ship it to you frozen. They got the sustainable packaging or whatever, so to keep it nice and cool. And yeah, you freeze it and you cook it. How many days do you have to cook it?
Like, how many days is it good before it expires?
That one, and how often do they deliver? Both of those things I want to
Oh,
know.
they deliver weekly. So every
Okay.
Monday or whenever you put it, they deliver it. You get you can do a 3 meal plan, a 5 meal plan, and go from there.
Okay.
They
But I
make
don't
when you
do it
get the
anymore. I
cooler.
cut it off because I was spending too much on it and then realized how much the average person spends on groceries.
Yeah.
And then I tried to actually grocery shop and spent way more than that. And so now I'm trying to
So how much did you spend?
girl,
Because I'll tell you how much I spend, which is a
on
problem.
groceries.
And I'll tell y'all the
groceries.
standard for most
On
human
groceries.
beings. So
On groceries,
Let's
on
hear it.
groceries, I was spending $400 a month on
Oh,
groceries.
girl, I wasn't that high.
That's no. That's only 100 above the standard for one individual.
I was spending
Typically, a person
300.
with a child would do 300 is the standard. You
Girl,
go
but
2
I-
times a month, 150 times each time.
Oh, no, I get
$150
snacks.
each time.
Yeah, I need to learn how to shop for real because I'll be buying bullshit.
You weren't doing that bad, Bashel.
Oh, great then. But now I go every week now. I'm trying to get to 300, so I've been giving myself 50 or $75 a week at Trader Joe's every week. Friday I go, and then but I still can't cook, so it's just couscous and shrimp with
But
zucchini.
I think the food is pretty decent at Trader Joe's. You can get you a good meal, and all you gotta do is throw a little bit of garlic salt on it.
I hate it, y'all.
You hate it?
I went, so I had a review on there one day. I was like, I'm so excited. I was like, the customer service, but it just was too I don't know if it was just bland, but it just wasn't hitting for your girl. And I just was
Trader
like,
Joe's is amazing.
Some of the stuff is delicious.
I need
Their
saturated.
Pop-Tarts are the best.
I need saturated
organic.
fats.
The fried rice is
I need
delicious.
artificial flavor.
You need to
The
get that
chicken
some
tikka
fried rice.
masala meals.
Okay, yo. I got
With the
chicken.
naan. With the naan.
got that.
Yes.
I would give
Yes,
those
with the
frozen-
naan.
I would give those frozen dinners. Yes. I
The
got
Okay,
tuna
some-
come on.
salad,
the
the
orange-
tuna sandwich is good. The wine is very cheap. The wine is cheap.
Okay, come on now,
Yeah,
wine.
I just was getting cereal, and the cereal was just nasty. It was
Oh, well, that
whole
was
wheat.
your mistake. That shit is gross.
Cereal.
No, that shit is actually nasty. It tastes like cardboard. It tastes like cardboard.
So I went when I first moved here, right, y'all? And that was in August. I still have not opened up I opened up the box, and it's 2 boxes that I need to just throw away. It's like Neapolitan cereal, bitch.
Why would you get that?
Nasty, y'all.
No.
You gotta end the mic to say nasty.
nasty. But everything else, the little frozen shoot, the orange chicken, all that was good. But yeah, girl, I said I gotta choose my battles when I go there, bitch. Because I need
Okay.
to go to Giant and get my this is my fat, my
Not
real ice
giant.
cream. I need that ghetto shit. Period.
Period. I'm just gonna get a man that can cook. That's just what it's gonna have to be,
That
you
sounds like
know?
a great plan.
That is the best solution right there.
I have learned to make a lot of things with a lot of different things. I'll come up with some shit in my head and be like, I wonder if anyone's ever done this before. If they haven't, I'll find something similar and just throw my own nuances on it. If
Mm-hmm.
they have, I'll just know that I can do it and do it my own way.
Boom.
So,
But
I love
girl,
that.
we can talk all day, of course. But we wanted to close out. But the thing I wanted to ask is before we close out, what do you want the listeners or viewers to take away from you being on this space in the podcast and talking about all the things that you talked about today?
That's such
hmm,
a heavy burden that you just gave me. What else?
attention.
I just want to say, wake up every day, live in your truth. Look, I don't know what to say. This is hard.
I put you on the blast with that one, and I
Look,
apologize.
What do you
look,
say to
hey,
yourself?
I say to myself, oh, every day, if it's meant for me, it's meant for me. I
Mm-hmm.
tell
We'll take
myself
it.
that there you
We'll
go.
take
If
that.
it's meant for you, it's meant for you. And
Yep.
have great friends around you. That's my little
That's
sprinkle.
important. That is
Yeah.
important. So Bashel B dollars Bash. Thank you. The B, stands for bands.
B stand for
All of
bands,
those
honey.
things.
Okay.
Thank you so much for
Thank
stepping,
y'all.
being a part of the show with us today. Really, really exciting, really inspirational. Really appreciated the conversation and things like that added to the show. But what are the social medias or social that you would love for our listeners and viewers to follow you on so that they can be immersed in this cope world of yours?
Yes. So of course copefashion.com. And then my Instagram is king underscore Bashel, Bashel. And
Mhm.
my Twitter is at Bashel underscore. That's all I'm on these days.
Thank you. And then, of course, like we tell everybody about ourselves, if you want to follow me personally on my social medias, you can hit me up on my Instagram and Twitter at underscore Lord Every. That is underscore LOR. Wow. Underscore LORDEVRY on Instagram and Twitter.
Hmm.
You can follow me on Instagram at Derwin King. That's DERWINKING. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Free Negro. That's FREENEGREAUX.
And if you would love to follow the podcast's information, you can hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at That Black Boy Joy. And if you would love to write into us or be a guest on the show, you can hit us up at thatblackboyjoy@gmail.com. And also, please remember that these videos, these episodes are on YouTube, so you can see the visuals as well as the audio. So just wanted to remind people of
They gonna
that.
see me? I'm joking. I don't mind.
I was like, we're going to get to that, girl. No, swear. But like I always say, please be so in love with who you are. Yeah.
Yes.
Bye!
Bye bye.
I'm talking about the bad boy.